It was supposed to be a simple weekend getaway, just the two of us. A quiet cabin by the river, no phones, no Wi-Fi, just nature and reconnection. Elora had insisted. She said we needed the time, especially with how distant I'd been since the promotion. She wasn't wrong, but I didn't know then that it would be the last time I saw her alive. Or so they told me. That morning she made me breakfast. French toast, the way I liked it. She was humming. Her lips curved into a familiar smile, the one she wore when hiding something playful. I assumed it was the anniversary gift she had teased for weeks. I kissed her forehead and stepped out to grab firewood. 10 minutes, that's all I was gone. When I returned, she was gone, no sign of struggle. Her phone was still charging, the French toast untouched. I searched the woods for hours, called her name until my throat burned. No footprints, no trail, nothing. The local police brushed it off as a domestic dispute, said she likely left me. They found no signs of foul play, and her sister, Anna, claimed Elora had reached out to her a day earlier. Said she was unhappy. That didn't sit right with me. My wife wouldn't vanish without a trace, not like that. The days stretched into weeks, then months. I kept searching. I lost weight, sleep, sanity. I replayed every conversation, every moment from that morning. Something was off. In the videos I showed to police, us kayaking, hiking, laughing, her smile never quite touched her eyes. I hadn't noticed it then. One evening, 6 months later, I visited Anna again. She had just come back from a trip. Her words. She was off, her manner too polished, her grief too rehearsed. I asked her questions I had asked before, where she thought Elora could be. But this time she slipped. She hated the cold, Anna said. I froze cold. She blinked. Elora loved snow, I said slowly. She used to beg me to take her to the Rockies every December. Anna went quiet. Her fingers trembled around her wine glass. That night I hacked into Elora's email. I used an old laptop she once loaned me when mine crashed. She never changed her backup passwords. That was the key. The inbox was wiped clean, but the archive was. There were emails, dozens, sent to an encrypted server. The domain name was untraceable, but the message subjects chilled me. Trial successful, memory containment stable. Subject displaying signs of cognitive bleed. And finally, initiating phase 4, will proceed with anniversary extraction. I sat there shaking, the screen's glow painting my face with horror. Anniversary extraction. I wasn't supposed to be in that cabin. I was supposed to be the alibi. That's when I saw the attachment. A single video clip. I opened it. A sterile white room. A woman bound, restrained, groggy, shaved head, electrodes. It was Elora. My wife. She was alive. I printed every email, every clip. I didn't know who to trust, police, FBI, friends, no one. Everyone could be compromised. Then I remembered her journal. She used to write in code, a cipher we made in college, a lover's game. I found her notebook tucked in a box of holiday decorations. Page after page of gibberish. But then I cracked it. She'd been tracking something called Halberd, a biotech initiative run through a shell company, funded by a web of defense contractors and private medical firms. Officially, it didn't exist. Unofficially, it was developing neural overwrite technologies, techniques to erase, implant, or modify memory. And Elora had been inside it. She was their whistleblower. She had found something big. She had tried to warn me. And they took her. I went underground. Used contacts from my college hacking days, paid off leads, traced digital footprints, spent everything I had. Then I found it, a facility hidden beneath a rural medical research building 3 states away. Access required 3 keycards. One belonged to Anna. I followed her, caught her in the act. She wasn't just complicit. She was in charge. Why? I asked, holding her at gunpoint in her car. She smiled bitterly. Because she wanted to save you, she gave herself up. You were being watched, every move, every email. She traded her freedom to erase you from their radar. I wanted to shoot her. I didn't. She gave me the access key. That night, I infiltrated the facility. I found Elora, but she didn't recognize me. They had wiped her. Again. But something in her eyes flickered. A tear, a hesitation. I whispered our wedding vow, the one only we knew. She blinked, then whispered back the last line. She remembered. It was all falling apart. The sirens screamed. Anna must have tipped them off. Guards stormed the corridor. I pulled Elora into the emergency tunnel. We ran until our legs gave out. Now we're on the run. Together. But this isn't over. They still want her, want the data locked in her head, the secrets. And I'll burn the world before I let them take her again. The silence of the lab was suffocating. Screens blinked quietly. Charts, vitals, simulations, all tracking Elora's body like she was an algorithm, not a human being. She clutched my hand, weakly at first. They've been testing neurological memory overrides. They wanted me to forget you. Her voice was hoarse but defiant. It didn't work. I scanned the chamber. There were cameras in every corner, but no alarms had triggered yet. Elora nodded toward the vent above. I rerouted the feed. You have 8 minutes before security realizes you're not an asset. We moved fast. She led me through the inner corridor, narrow, sterile, hidden beneath layers of biometric access. We passed tanks filled with floating bodies, some breathing, some still. Test subjects, she whispered. Unregistered, no names, just numbers, some are kids. Rage burned in my chest. We reached the server room. I hooked in the final flash drive, the one she risked everything to hide. It held the override codes to release the raw data, unredacted, globally, to every open-source whistleblower archive. But it needed a password. I turned to her. Elora, what's the pass? She smiled. Our anniversary date, spelled backwards, with the first line of the poem I wrote for you. I typed it in. The lights flickered. Cooling fans spun up. Streams of data began uploading to dark net mirrors and secure public networks. A siren wailed. We have 5 minutes, she said. As we turned, a wall-mounted screen flickered to life. A face appeared, one I recognized from the Metatron board of directors. He was the man from the cabin footage. The man Elora was last seen with at the bar. Impressive, he said calmly. But too late, we always have contingencies. Elora stepped forward. That's the difference between you and me. You plan escapes, I plan endings. She pulled a small device from her pocket, a short-range M disruptor. One pulse and the entire lab blacked out. The backup generator sputtered but didn't restart. She desabotaged that too. We ran through the darkness, using the emergency strip lights to find the exit. Behind us, chaos erupted, locks disengaged, test subjects released, systems crashing. One elevator worked. We rode it to the surface, emerging into the snowstorm above. A small transport drone hovered nearby. Programmed with an autopilot sequence Elora had embedded weeks before. As it lifted off, I looked back. The lab, the entire hillside, was crumbling. Fissures tore through the snow. A timed overload in the cryogenic systems caused structural collapse. Everything was falling apart. And with it, the last trace of Project Halberd. We disappeared again, this time for good. In the months that followed, the world changed. Leaked documents triggered criminal indictments, corporate shutdowns, and international reforms. The faces behind Metatron were exposed, not just scientists and executives, but politicians, generals, CEOs. Some were arrested, others vanished. Elora became a ghost, a myth, the woman who took down a global conspiracy from inside its core. I became her shadow. Together, we built something new, a private network that protects whistleblowers, defends truth, and hunts the next system trying to enslave minds through data. They'll come again in new forms with new masks. But now we're watching. And this time, we're the ones who know how to disappear.